Hello students, in last lecture I already started with the concept tautology, contradiction and contingency. Let's continue with the same part. Using truth table, examine whether each of the following statement is tautology or contradiction or contingency. First one, P and P implies negation of Q implies P. Now here, since two statements are given, we will consider four possibilities. Now we will write the required columns. First is P, then Q, we require negation of Q, then P implies negation of Q, then P and P implies negation of Q, and entire statement. Now as you know that P and Q columns will be fixed, T, T, F, F and T, F, T, F. Now negation of Q will be T will become F and F will become T. So we will get F, T, F, T. Now P implies negation of Q. You know about the implies. If the first statement is true and second is false, then only answer is false, and in remaining all cases answer will be true. Now P and P implies negation of Q. So P and P implies negation of Q. These two columns we will consider, and we remember that concept for and. Out of both the statements any one is false, then answer is false, and in remaining cases answer is true. Now last column, P and P implies negation of Q implies P. So you will get T, 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 T. Now since all the truth values in the last column are T, and therefore the given statement pattern is tautology. Here in the last column everywhere we are getting the truth value as T, and therefore the given statement pattern is tautology. Now we will consider one more question for 8 possibilities. See, P implies Q and Q implies R implies P implies R. Now here 3 statements are given, P, Q and R. And we know that whenever 3 statements are given, we consider 8 possibilities. So P, Q and R, 3 columns will be fixed. P will be 4 times T, 4 times F. Q will be 2 times T, 2 times F. Again 2 times T, 2 times F. And R will be TF, 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 TF. Now P implies Q. First statement is true and second is false, then only answer is false, and in remaining cases answer is true. We will use that concept. Again here first statement is Q and second statement is R. By using the same concept we will get these values. And here first statement is P and second statement is R. Again by using the concept of implies we will get these values. Now here we call this as column A, this as column B and this as column C. So here we require B implies C, means Q implies R implies P implies R, and this B implies C we will consider as column D. Again by using the trick of implies we will get these values, and finally we want A and D, means P implies Q, this is A, and B implies C, that is D. And by using the trick for table of AND we will get these values. Now you can observe here we are getting both the values T as well as F. So since truth values in the last column are not identical, or we can say not same, and therefore the given statement pattern is contingency. We can say that the truth values in the last column are T as well as F. So it is neither tautology nor contradiction, and therefore the given statement pattern is contingency. Now we will start with the next concept, that is converse, inverse and contrapositive. Now here given statement will be in this format, P implies Q. Implication will be given, that is if then statement will be given, and we need to write converse, inverse and contrapositive. Now for this implication statement, first we will write P and Q separately, then converse will be Q implies P. Inverse will be negation of P implies negation of Q, and contrapositive will be negation of Q implies negation of P. Now for example, write the converse, inverse and contrapositive of the following statements. Now first one, if a function is differentiable then it is continuous. Now here first we will check whether the given statement is in the format of if then or not. Yes, the statement is given in the implication format, that is conditional statement is given. Now here we will write P and Q. So P will be a function is differentiable and Q will be a function is continuous. Here it is given, it is nothing but the function. Now converse. So we know that converse is given by Q implies P. So our statement will be if, again here implication is given, so if a function is continuous then it is differentiable. Since we require Q first, therefore we will write a function is continuous then it is differentiable. Now inverse is given by negation of P implies negation of Q. So here we require a negative statement. So if a function is not differentiable then it is not continuous. Now contrapositive is given by negation of Q implies negation of P. So again we require negative statement. So if a function is not continuous then it is not differentiable. Now one more example we will consider. If x is strictly less than y, then x square is strictly less than y square, where x and y belongs to real numbers. Now here first we will check whether the conditional statement is given. Yes, here P is x is strictly less than y and Q is x square is strictly less than y square. Now we will write converse. We know that converse is given by Q implies P. So first we will write Q. X square, if x square is strictly less than y square then x is strictly less than y and x and y belongs to real numbers. Now inverse is given by negation of P implies negation of Q. Now we know that whenever this type of notations are given, suppose x is less than y and we need to write the negation, in that case either we write x is not strictly less than y or we write x is greater than or equal to y. Similarly here also while writing the negation we will write x square is not strictly less than y square or x square is greater than or equal to y square. So here while writing the inverse our answer will be if x is greater than or equal to y, that is negation of P, then x square is greater than or equal to y square. X and y belongs to real numbers. Now contrapositive is given by negation of Q implies negation of P. So if x square is greater than or equal to y square then x is greater than or equal to y. X and y belongs to real numbers. Now we consider one more example. If surface area decreases then pressure increases. Here also first we will check whether the conditional statement is given or not. Yes, if then is given, that means the conditional statement is given. then. Now here P is surface area decreases and Q is pressure increases. Now converse is given by Q implies P. So if pressure increases, then surface area decreases. Now inverse is given by negation of P implies negation of Q. So if surface area does not decreases because we require negation, then pressure does not increases. Now we require contrapositive. It is given by negation of Q implies negation of P. So if pressure does not increases, then surface area does not decreases, because at both the places we require negation. Thank you, students.